part two. I'm sorry. My husband just keep calling. But yeah, so once my mom had to stress that to me, like I said, it was hard for me to take that information in and then just kind of digest it as a young girl, because I always longed for a father. Like, I was always looking for him. We all grew up in one house, our grandmother's house. So you see all the other family members, dads coming over, dropping off gifts. And then, I'm sitting there. So to hear this on my 12th birthday was a bummer. At that point is when I kind of decided that I thought I was grown, I could do what I wanted. So I started, going out in the neighborhood, befriending people, meeting people, and just kind of just learning from the streets, honestly. At about 12 years old is also when my auntie, my mother's eldest sister, got custody of me along with two other family members. And at that point, we was taken out of the home with my mother and grandmother, and we were placed in a home with my auntie. And to be honest, it wasn't the best for me, but I feel like, it could have been way worse. So I do appreciate her for just stepping up and just doing something that she really didn't have to do. She did make sure that we ate good. She fed us good. I did attend school. I did lack and miss out on some things in life that I had to kind of, go to the streets and learn. With all of the trauma that I was dealing with, on top of my mother had went and got a 7-year sentence in prison. So with all of that being said and done, I was dealing with just finding out I was a product of rape. We're missing school. We're not eating as we should be. Now children's services coming in. I'm being taken out of the home. So I started rebelling like very young. I just didn't have no understanding. I just felt I didn't belong. I just felt I wasn't loved. So once we were moved with my auntie, of course, when the state gives custody to someone, all type of things come with that. Extra benefits from the government, vouchers for the children, so just anything, extra food stamps. So we were in a good space. We had our own bedroom. I shared it with my little cousin, but in my grandmother's house we didn't. It was kind of sleep where you can sleep. So it was cool. I was able to go to school on time, clean, fed. I was able to get my hair done and clean uniforms and things in that nature. But I still just didn't always feel like I belonged. Like, I just always felt weird as far as being there. Like, I just didn't feel like I fit in. My auntie was a bit strict, especially with me. It was 3 of us. I was the oldest girl, and then I was very rebellious because of what I had been through. So I kind of was the type of chick that I had a smart mouth. I talked back a lot. I had a hard head. I would go to school and I wouldn't come back home till 10 o'clock at night. I kind of got into boys early. I got into smoking marijuana early, drinking. Nothing major, just like we would get like screwdrivers, red rolls, little stuff like that. And then I got into smoking cigarettes, and then came along with me starting to skip school, hang out with guys, hang with other adolescents that moms who wasn't in their life, birds of a feather flock together. I actually ended up getting pregnant when I was 15. My auntie had been telling me the whole summer, like, if you get pregnant, you're going to have to go. I guess she could sense that I was having sex, and just the way I was moving, like, I was never home. I was staying there. I was running away. And it wasn't because, like, I was just being a bad girl. It was just because I had been through some shit, and I didn't feel love where I was staying at. And I felt at the time that the streets loved me more. So I actually did. I spent my time in the streets, running the streets, being with friends, spending the night out, just wherever I can be. I was, other than being home, I wouldn't go. Actually, the summer before I got pregnant, it was the year before I got pregnant, I had a best friend at the time, and we were very, very close. We had been friends for probably at that point like 8 years, and her mom was a great mother. Her house was the house. that kids can go to and just let their stress out. We can go and eat. She always kept food and snacks, and back then they was the only one in the neighborhood had a computer, and just she was just a fun mom in a fun house. So me and the young lady became very close. She knew what I was going through as a best friend. You know, I had cried on her shoulders plenty of times how I didn't feel loved or accepted. So one summer, her sister gave me a summer job, and that summer job was babysitting her daughter. My best friend's, my ex-friend's niece at the time. She was a little baby. She's a grown woman now. But I would babysit her. I stayed there with them the summer and babysit it. And also I would braid her hair. I could braid hair as well too. And that was one of my small little hustles I did as a young lady, was just braiding people hair, $20 to $20 here and there. So, and nothing fancy, just normal braids back in the day. I'm talking, this was back like in the early 2000s. So after experiencing all of that, I was living with her for the summer, and then I had to go back home for the winter. And it was a Christmas that came up, and I'm being honest, even if my family was to see this, this is just real life. It was a Christmas, and I didn't have nothing for Christmas. What I had for Christmas was a board game that was already used and placed in a Kroger's bag with my name on it. All the other kids in the home had actual gifts wrapped up. For me, that did something to me. You know, I'm a young lady. I'm 12 years old, 13 years old. It's Christmas, and I wake up to a Christmas gift, and it's in a Kroger's bag of a scramble game that we have been playing with all summer. So I was upset. I even cried to my best friend and her mother about it. Well, actually, that year, I had a place at Christmas with them. I called crying if I begged to go with them for Christmas, and the mother allowed it. She came and got me. She actually spoke with my auntie, and at that point is when she became the caretaker of me. She basically told my auntie that I can take her with me. She's a great kid. I don't have any problems. At the time, I was getting Social Security benefits for me, like a $500 check a month, which is nothing. But back then, it wasn't, cost of living wasn't high. So my auntie agreed to let me move in with my best friend. This was on Christmas. So for Christmas, when we woke up Christmas, that was Christmas Eve, Christmas Day when we woke up, I had gifts. I had a pager, a beeper for the first time ever. Back in the day, like I'm from the city of Dayton, and it was these shirts called Player University shirts, and they used to have just different quotes, like black quotes on them. So we had a lot of those shirts. She had a big Christmas party, so I felt a part of a family, because all the families had that shirt. So for me to get a gift like that, I think I got a pair of jeans and a pager from her. I just felt love, so at that point, now I'm living with my best friend and her mom. I have my own bedroom. Like, she's teaching me proper etiquettes of being a young lady. I'm going to school. I'm just like starting to blossom as a young lady for the first time. And some things went on with my best friend that resulted into me being put out of the home, and basically out of the family. And it was like some deep stuff that happened. I didn't have anything to do with it, but because it had to do with me, but I didn't do anything, if you can understand that. So with that being said and done, I had to leave. I had to come back. By that time when I came back, it was kind of still the same. I just still didn't feel I belonged. I started standing out more and more. And at this point is when my auntie is realizing that I'm out more, I'm having sex. So she had let me know that if you get pregnant, you're going to move. Like, you have to leave. And at this time I was 15, so I ended up getting pregnant. I found out around my birthday. I kept just getting sick. Every morning at the bus stop, I was throwing up. I was getting off of school, coming in, going straight to sleep until 11 o'clock. Like, I had a lot of signs. I didn't know what was going on, but my auntie and my cousin that I lived with at the time, which was her daughter, mother and daughter, they kind of knew what was going on. So they actually told me, like, you are pregnant. Her other daughter, we went to CVS. I got a pregnancy test, came back, took the test, boom, I was pregnant. My auntie was highly upset. At that point, she put me out. I moved in with with her daughter. At the time, she was only like 19 years old, 18 or 19. I moved in with her. At that point, I was on my own. I was pregnant, 16, renting a room from my cousin because I paid rent for that room. It wasn't like I just was taking in. I still had to pay bills. So I had to pay $150 a month for a bedroom. I ended up having my baby. I dropped out of school. It was a fun house because she was young. So it wasn't no like guidance there for real. And I kind of just like slipped off. I looked up. I met a guy. I had another baby. Now I'm 17 with 2 kids, pregnant with the baby. Me and my cousin ended up, we had to leave that house. We had to move back on the other side of town. We were on a whole other side of town on top of that. Long story short, I moved back in with my auntie, which is her mother. Now I'm pregnant and have a baby. We're sleeping in a 2-bedroom house. There's 6 people into this house. I mean, we're sleeping wherever we can sleep. It was still just bull crap. Even now, I've been back, years later, but I still felt the same. I didn't belong. So I took it upon myself to just start like growing up. Okay, I got kids. I wasn't working. I wasn't in school. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I had to move. So the first thing I did was I had a cousin who had a baby mom who was moving. She was young. She just moved to her apartment. And she told me, hey, you got the income, these apartments. Oh my gosh, I wish I could like find it now. For a 2-bedroom apartment, I only paid $440 a month in rent, and you only had to pay your gas. I was winning. So I ended up turning 18. I did all the necessary proper steps. It was to, I saved my money because I was getting a welfare check and I was getting an SSI check. So I saved both of my checks. I was able to do the application, get approved for the apartment. And then, mind you, I told you the house I went back to was my auntie house. Everybody was there. So now my mom is here. She's still on drugs. So she needed to leave as well because her and my auntie was arguing, and she didn't have the means, like the mentality to get up, go find her own spot. You see, I'm 18 years old and I'm having to do that. So, which at an 18-year-old, you kind of should, but then that's kind of fresh. Like, people want to put their babies out at 18. No, that is a very hard age. So, yeah, my mom ended up moving in with me. It was easier to split the rent with her. And we lived together for about a year before my mom started getting sick. She had Alzheimer's. What she called dementia early because she had tumors on her brain. So, it was like, if I can talk, if I can go, this could be like a 5-hour video because I have so much shit I've been through. But basically, if you guys want to hear more about Ebony B's story and her trials and tribulations, actually right now I'm in a good place. I can be way better. But if you guys want to hear more, please subscribe to my channel. Help me get subscribers. Like, my children have stories. Like, listen, baby, when I say I lived in the shelters, I've been through it. Like, but the only way to find out is if you guys subscribe me, and I can keep putting out these videos, because everybody across the world has experienced some shit in their life. And I'm sorry to be cussing on YouTube. I'm sorry about that, but everybody has been through some traumatizing things, and sometimes we don't even know when we've been traumatized, and sometimes it takes for you to be able to listen to somebody else's brave story. At this point, I feel like I'm being brave, speaking out on some of the things that I've already touched. Like I said, it's a whole lot more to it. Again, I snuck out on my break to just come and do this video. I hope it could get some likes and shares. I hope I can get some subscribers so I can just start letting you guys meet me and my family, and just see just the process of what we've been through together. I will mention that while I went through everything I went through, I have 4 children, and I never lost custody of any of my children. We went through everything together. So like I say, I got a lot of good tea about myself, and then just helping somebody else, be able to speak out about their past and their truth. So if you like my video, if you want to start seeing more of Ebony B in the YouTube world, then please go ahead. What they say, like, share, subscribe. And I guess since I'm new, maybe I could start new. Maybe if I can get like 20 subscribers. I don't know if that's asking for much. If I can get 20 subscribers on this video, I would do a part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, baby. I can go. But I need to get the subscribers. I don't want to just be, So thank you again for whoever is out there watching and took the time out to actually listen to me and my part of my life journey. Again, if you want to see more videos, just click like and subscribe. And once I see that the views have went up, I'm still going to try to come and put other videos out, but not so much about my life, just other videos, storytelling. So again, if you guys were interested and you want to hear more, please click like and subscribe. And thank you, and I'll be back with another story time.